Peace, peace, peace. What is going on, world? Welcome to Substantial Weekly. I know it's been a while, been off for a few weeks. Happy to be back. Shout out to everyone in the chat, man. Great to see everyone. Yeah, man, it's been an eventful few weeks. Actually, the last month has been crazy. So just happy to be back home, you know what I mean? Back in the studio, back with my family. Happy to be here with y'all. Always great to see everybody. Was definitely challenging trying to do this on the road. I know I was able to do it twice, but the schedule that I had when I was in Kathmandu didn't really allow me much time to do it without losing sleep that I very much needed. And then on top of that, when I got back home too, when I got home, I was a little under the weather for a hot second and stuff. So I was just trying to make sure I rested up so I could be back doing what I do best, man. And that's, making music, spending time with those I love, spending time with folks like y'all, and yeah, man, making new things happen. So glad to be back. Shout out to everyone in the chat, man. Let me know how's it coming through. You know what I mean? It's been a while since I've done it in the studio. So if anything sounds a bit off or looks a bit off, I'm relying on you guys who are watching right now to hold me down. So I appreciate y'all. Before we get started, quick rest in peace to Akira Toriyama. I know a lot of you are aware that he passed away recently. He's very sad and stuff. If you're an anime fan and fan of certain shows, like you already know. But yeah, man, yeah, rest in peace. Shout out for sure. All right. Shout out to everyone in the chat right now. Let's see who we got in here today, man. Ousted, shout out to you. C Cruz, peace, man. Good to see you up in here. Happy Mochi, peace, sis. I also saw the notification on Twitter. I will holler at you as soon as the show is done. Apologies for being out of touch. Also, anybody who's watching who knows me personally, who's reached out to me in a different way, if I did not get back, I did have to purchase a new phone as quick as I got back. My phone just really started tripping. It is an old phone. I'm one of those dudes who I don't unnecessarily replace phones. So when it's time for me to replace a phone, my phone is done. You know what I mean? It's done all that it can do. And it was definitely time to replace it once I got back. So that has thrown a bit of things off. A lot of people have been trying to hit me up via social media. And I had realized when I switched my phone that I forgot to log back into these apps. So I haven't been getting certain notifications and stuff. So my apologies to anybody waiting to hear back from me. Nothing personal, just, trying to get caught back up on a lot, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, shout out to Last King Saints, Christian Weeb, peace to you, Soul Tiger, Warpath, aka Eric G, my man Joshua, who else we got up in here? Okie Doke, Early Bird, my brother. Yeah, man, Stratus, peace to you, Maraf. First live stream. Hey, that's what's up. We can clap it up for that. You know what I mean? Hold on, yo. And listen, I haven't been in the studio so long. I don't even, I'm looking at the buttons like, I think that button does this, but let me double check. Let me check my buttons real quick. Oh, there we go. Okay. First take hold. Maraf, hey, man, that applause is for you. Welcome, man. Definitely everybody here. Definitely welcome. Maraf, and anybody that's watching, if it's your first time tuning in. And not just shout out to the YouTube family, shout out to everyone watching on Facebook and also Twitch as well, man. So yeah, a lot to cover today, but we'll get started. Hold on, here we go. Okay. Wow. Okay. Got somebody on Twitch doing the most right now. So yeah, we gonna go ahead and disregard that nonsense. But feel free if anybody else is on Twitch watching and with this dude doing the most right now, go ahead and block them. They're saying some real ignorant racist stuff over on Twitch land right now. I don't know what that is about, but it just amazes me. People who really act like certain people of color or black people are inferior and stuff like that. I'm speaking to them real quick since they clearly here for whatever reason. But anybody, who does that, like, fam, if you really believed someone was inferior to you, you wouldn't even be associating with them. it's not even something you truly have to be convincing other people of, if that was actually the case, because everyone can see it for themselves. But yo, I appreciate the amount of effort you got to put in to try to make somebody look like they're less than you. It just screams it, like, yo, it really speaks to your own insecurities and something being seriously wrong with you. So yeah, man, have a wonderful day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, probably should chill out before you block whatever blessings are coming your way. But it's unfortunate, man. Send one up for that guy. So keep it pushing on that note. Hey man, K Fizzle, I appreciate the love. Thank you, homie. Yeah. Hey, the Kim man, peace. So let's go ahead, keep it moving. All right, man, a lot to cover today. Hold on 1 second. Namu Wonderling, peace, guys. Hey, what up, fam? Uncle Stan, it's been a hot minute since I've turned into one of your live streams. Been busy with life and seeking to improve my artistic skills. Hey, you know I'm always rooting for you. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. All right, now, yeah. Let's see. Frank, peace. What's going on? Welcome. Happy Friday to you. Man, so happy to see everybody up in here, yo. It's definitely nice to be back. Let's get into things, because there's a lot to cover today. First and foremost, let me tell you what projects I've been working on behind the scenes real quick before we start the recap and promote certain things that are going on. So currently, I'm in between 2 video game projects, new songs for different games and stuff. One is for, it's another thing for a game I've done plenty of stuff for, a game called Arknights. I can't really say more than that, but working on something new for them. Another game related thing is actually a cover of a wildly popular song for a particular game. Because of the NDA, I can't tell you what it is, but you'll see what it is. But yeah, but it's associated with a really big IP, and it's a cover of the song. And you know, I'm actually working with the original creator of the song to do this remake or to do this cover. So that's pretty exciting. So that's what's happening behind the scenes with the music. Real quick, let's get back to these comments, because I see it's kind of active over here. Oh yeah, we squatted up today. We like over 20 deep. That's what's up. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Let's go. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got Mrs. Robinson in the building. Peace. How you doing? All right. You know, thank you for tuning in. Yo, Arknights, let's go. Yeah, man. For those who don't know what Arknights is, it's a really popular game. I believe the company that created it is in China. I have done a lot of music for that particular game. I did W's theme. I did a song for the Emperor, who's like this penguin character. There's an actual video with him rapping, and I'm doing the voice for it. So I've done a lot of songs for Arknights, at least 4 or 5 if I'm not mistaken. So adding a new one to the mix hopefully soon. Budget was already approved, just waiting for next steps. But yeah, the other game, like, already started it, and this is going to be unique too, because this will only be the second time that I did production as well as the rhyming for the joint. So I'm building the track up from scratch. So that's really exciting. But yeah, man. Yo, thank you, appreciate that. Ousted says, wow, never thought anyone would be wilding out like that in a substantial live. Some people don't have anything better to do. 100%, man. 100%. You'd be surprised. Back in the substantial Sundays days, we used to see that every now and then, especially around election time. People just come in, saying any old thing or whatever, and it's just like, it's unfortunate, yo. Like, but I mean, the world, it is what it is. Some folks clearly need help, man, and yeah, the old saying is corny, but it's the truth. Hurt people. Ain't got nothing better to do. You know what I mean? But I'm here with y'all, so I'm grateful. You know what I mean? Count my blessings. Oh, video game songs. I got to check your stuff for Arknights someday. Definitely. Let's say peace to Mrs. More Than Enough. Yes, indeed. Peace. Yeah. Just wanted to say I can't stop playing Reed Richards. Been on the road a lot. That's what's up, man. I appreciate it. Peace, Mrs. Stantastic. All right, peace. Got new. Oh yeah. Hey man, listen. For those of you who really appreciate a great dramatic film with excellent acting, or what appears to be excellent acting, based in truths, there's a trailer for a movie called Sing Sing that what's the brother's name? Something Domingo. I forget what his first name is, but amazing actor. He's been in a ton of stuff. Rumors are saying that he's actually going to be replacing Jonathan Majors to play the new King, the Conqueror. But he's in this movie called Sing Sing that's coming out. It's produced. It's by A24 Studios. Early Bird. You know, for those who don't know, me and Early Bird, we go. Michelle and Early Bird go back to like the late '90s. Like we're old friends, and he has a tendency to find movies for us to go watch with him that almost always involve somebody crying. And when I say somebody, I mean all of us. All of us end up crying at whatever movies that Early recommends. And so I saw this trailer, and like my eyes are glazing over watching the trailer, and I was like, well, I got a new movie for me to go watch with Early. So, hey man, Sing Sing, definitely check out the trailer. You know, it looks really good. I remember the trolls coming in. Yeah, man. You know what? One thing I will say about trolls or just haters popping up in the timeline and your feed and distracting from whatever's going on, it's just a reminder you're doing something right. Like, listen, a lot of times, not even that you're doing something right. It's a reminder that like whatever you're doing is starting to get more traction than it normally gets. And so, yeah, man. Keep going. That's what I've been doing my whole life. It's like these battles ain't stopped me yet. So it is what it is. All right. Yes, Coleman Domingo. Yes, thank you, sir. Y'all been listening to your music. What's up? Sean Taylor, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Yes, Coleman Domingo is the actor. Excellent actor. Tell us how Japan was all around for you, bro. Yeah, Japan was great. I'm going to get into that a little bit more when I start talking about Bob Alloy. Bob Alloy. Yes, when I jump into Bob Alloy and talk about that, we'll talk about Japan some more. For those of you who tuned in while I was in Kathmandu, I'm going live. I actually literally in that live showed all of the cool like gifts that I got for the family and stuff and stuff that people gave me. But yeah, man, it was really cool. I don't know if it's too early for questions, but I'd really like to know how you came up with the lyrics of Blank Canvas with Marcus D. Defo, one of my favorite songs featuring you. Man, thank you so much. I will be sure to I'm gonna put a star on yours so I remember to come back to it. But yes, I will definitely answer that when I talk about the Bop Alloy stuff. So let me go through these last couple comments. Let's see. Speaking of good movies, random note, but have you ever seen the movie A Million Colors, Stan? No, I don't think I've seen that. If not, you should check it out. Do me a favor, if whatever, I know we follow, I think you follow me on a couple different platforms. Send me a DM with the trailer for the movie. I'll check it out, and then yeah, man, see if we can make some time to watch it. Early Bird is the designated movie reviewer of the team. Yo, it's funny, man. Like, so Early's taste, though, Early has very specific taste. And one thing is, like, Early definitely has great taste in films. But I will say that it's important to know that he definitely is not a comic book movie guy. So, you know, like I feel like even really, really good ones that most people would say is like, oh man, this is top shelf, like not just top shelf comic book film, just top shelf film in general. You know, I've had some conversations with Early and he's just like, yeah. So I will say that, you know, just keep that in mind if you're ever talking to Early about movies, you know what I mean? He'll tell you that himself. Hey, what's going on? We got Germany in the building. Kubale, I think that's how you say it. Lottebert, peace. What's going on? Welcome. Would you be interested or able to make music with Fat John again? That's not a question for me. I'm gonna just say that because I've definitely have reached out to Fat John. We've talked in person about it, and the only reason why it has not happened is not because of me. So what I tell people in these situations, when you want me to work with a certain artist, especially if it's somebody who I've either asked already or would really like to, or I'm really open to working with them, especially if it's somebody I got access to and somebody I rock with. Chances are I've already tried to make that happen. So I definitely got nothing but love for John, but it's not something he's been willing to do. So that's no slight at him. That's just truth. You know what I mean? I ain't here to downplay anything or throw anybody under the bus. I'm just letting you know that it hasn't happened officially because that's not something he has been willing to do. So, it's all good, man. Nothing but love for John. Not sure if he's still making music. I'm not sure either. I haven't talked to him since maybe 2018, I think is the last time I've seen him. I think we talked briefly in 2019 because I linked him with IQ, who was booking the Nujabes tribute for Otakon, but that didn't pan out. So, but yeah, man, it is what it is. All right. Will you be talking about the least of all vinyls? I'm so hyped, been telling everyone about it. I will. I'll definitely, I'm going to star yours as well so I can come back to that. But I will. We did the session. It was a lot of fun. The best thing about live recordings is the fact that, hey, man, it is not perfect. It is not perfect. The musicians did their thing, but they were nitpicking about their own stuff, too, of course. But each recording is a live take. So if I stumbled a little during the take or whatever, like that's on record, you know what I mean? And so it's going to be truly unique like that. And everyone, look, I'm talking about it now. Everyone who I recorded it for actually got a shout out with their name on the vinyl. So like, yeah, man, thank y'all to everyone who supported that. All right. More comments. Our boy Julian is a certified movie reviewer on Rotten Tomatoes. 100%, man. Shout out to Jules. I found some amazing music just by playing songs from Substantial and letting it autoplay on Spotify. That's what's up, man. All right. So what was I talking about before? Upcoming projects. So I told you about the video game stuff I'm working on. Shout out to the homie Ana Caona or Rocio Ana Caona Rocio Milagro, her full name. Shout out to her. I'm currently working on production for her full album. Made this really, really dope track for it the other day since I've been back. And so I'm gonna be working on that every day while simultaneously working on this video game music, while simultaneously working on finishing up the Adultish remixes. I have all the submissions for everybody. Some of them are really great. Some are better than others. It might not be a full 10 tracks, and I definitely want to add a bonus track to the joint, like something that's all new. So that's in the works as well, man. But all the submissions are in. I just got to get those mastered while also recording one additional song, one that I already started. I just haven't finished. But yeah, so no shortage of things to do, fam. But let's keep it moving. Okay, so hold on. Alan, my youth. Alan. We're going to switch screens up. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So, quick reminder before we jump into everything else. Sam Academy is still happening. We, and when I say we, I'm talking about Substantial Art and Music. We have an official academy, which we have music business classes. Shout out to the attendees. It's been great so far. We do it live at Crescendo Studios in Falls Church, Virginia. First Thursday of the month, usually. And so right now we just moved into quarter 2. And we started teaching classes around writing for the music industry. So yesterday's class involved us talking about how to write a musician bio, and then also how to create an electronic press kit and different resources that you can use to help you with both. We had conversations about Chat GPT and other cool technology that, for better or for worse, that exists out here that can kind of help us along the journey. Not necessarily, I'm not looking at these tools as things to do the job for you, but more so just things that help aid you, maybe get you thinking about things in a way that you didn't think about it before. So yeah, man, shout out to the attendees. It was really, really great. For those of you who are artists and basically would like to learn from me directly, you can look into doing the online classes. Several of the classes are available now. I believe the last 2, one has been recorded. It's currently being edited, and I'm about to record the next one in the next few days. So that'll be up soon. But you can get 2 of the 4 classes that have been taught already. And it's really cheap. It's only $20 if you do online and $25 in person. You know what I mean? So definitely worth checking out. And if you're not an artist, but you know an indie artist who could use some tips, definitely send them my way. One of the biggest challenges for those of you who have artist friends or those of you who are artists yourself, ego gets in the way of opportunities all the time, right? We have people sometimes that they look at artist status and they feel like, yo, this dude ain't even that established or that big or whatever. Why should I even be paying for this, that, and the third? One, let's be real clear. For those who don't know, I got over 25 years in this industry as a working professional, making a living as a musician. Although some may view me as probably not as popular as maybe I was at one point in time, the fact of the matter is, in spite of that, I'm arguably making 2 to 3 times more than I was making at the period of time where my stuff was everywhere. A lot of that is because of certain business decisions and different ways you learn to navigate this industry. On top of that, again, this ain't for those of you who know. This is just for some of your people who might be interested, something to share with them. I'm also a member of the Recording Academy, where I sit on the board. So I'm a governor on the Washington, D.C. Recording Academy, along with being an ambassador of hip hop, collaborating with the State Department, U.S. Embassy, so on and so forth. So I've been doing my thing. I know a little something about this business. So if you feel like you're a person who's watching right now or somebody you might know that could use some help, definitely is probably some of the most affordable classes that are online, because some of the classes that I look into taking for myself oftentimes just to do a course or whatever is like $1,000, where you could do 12 courses with us or 12 classes with us and it's only a couple $100, like $200 some for 12 courses, right? So it's literally in some cases 4 to 5 times cheaper, because our goal is to help meet people where they are early in their career, where they oftentimes can't afford to make those type of investments. So if this sounds like it's for you, definitely check it out. I'm gonna stop preaching to the choir, because I know that's why y'all here. You know what I mean? Ousted says, my homie is getting into making beats and sampling. Definitely have him check the website out. Please do. You can go to Crescendo studiosva.com/Sam-Academy to check it out and learn more. Stan, just tell those who aren't familiar with your work that you are a black of all trades. I mean, listen, professional musician and professional graphic designer. Did you have the same working chemistry with Kenichiro as you did working with Nujabes? I will say that with Kenichiro, it's actually been easier to work with Kenichiro. I think early on, I wouldn't say we bumped heads because we weren't recording in the same space together. Early on, we were just contacting each other via email or through my management. And early on, like, he oftentimes definitely... he had a particular sound or thing he was trying to accomplish. So that meant sometimes a lot more takes than I would normally do. So that part of it was challenging. But yeah, it was definitely a lot more challenging working with Nujabes because, we were in the studio meeting in person way more. And we spent a lot more time together. So we definitely bumped heads a bit more and didn't always see eye to eye. While working on the stuff. Kenichiro, we've recorded in person together twice, different times when I've been on tour in Japan. It's actually been easier recording with him in person than it was recording via, in the studio and via email. And what's dope too is with this last session, for those who don't know, Marcus D lives in Japan and is actually fluent in Japanese. So he was at the studio session with me. And oftentimes he was able to articulate different things that I was doing, not just like in the in my delivery, but more so being able to tell him what certain things I'm saying mean and why certain things are clever. So yeah, man, I'm excited for folks to hear this new song we cooked up. I don't know what the final name will be, but the working title right now is Piano Man. And man, it was a lot of fun to do. It's a danceable track. Excited for people to hear that. Or laugh out loud. Have them check check your resume, man. Listen. The one thing about people in general, not just the industry, is, man, people oftentimes try to downplay the significance of the things you've done or downplay your impact. And so it's funny, a lot of times I sit and watch interviews with different artists, different people in the industry, different industry professionals. It doesn't matter if I'm super familiar with them or not. If someone recommends that I watch a particular thing, and this is coming from someone who knows me pretty well, they're telling me to watch it for a reason. So I check it out. And it's funny, like how many times like artists who are far more notable than me, they do certain things, right? Like they get certain praise for like the work they do in their community, for different programs that they built, for the type of role model they've been to other artists, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And what's funny is a lot of times when I'm watching these people who are oftentimes a bit more popular than I am, a lot of what they're saying that they've done, these are things that I've done. In some cases, like I'm watching a video today with D1, who I definitely admire what that brother's doing, and I got a ton of respect for, and I think he's a dope, I think he makes dope music too. But some of the stuff I'm watching them like, yo, some of the praise they're giving him on the show for the different things he's doing, I'm like, man, that's super dope. And I'm like, wow, if y'all impressed with that, I was like, fam, I did that 14 years ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's a lot of what these other folks in the industry have accomplished, where a lot of times like these aren't things I haven't done already. And quiet is kept. You know, I ain't just talking about like ghostwriting, but like consulting. There's notable people in this industry who behind the scenes have literally paid me money to help assist them with different things they're working on. People who were who were A&Rs at major labels, who literally came to me and paid me to consult them as they were on their way out to become like, you know, people who ran independent labels and stuff. So, you know, I'm not saying I know everything. I don't. But you'd be hard pressed to find people in this biz who've worked with me, who would tell you like, who wouldn't recommend a lot of the services that we offer and the different help that we give folks. You know what I mean? You know, it's not easy to make a living doing this, and it sure as hell isn't easy making a living doing this full time while providing for yourself and a family of 4. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, don't sleep. That's all I'm saying. So we keep it pushing. All right. Let's see. Next. Hold on, one comment. Just wanted to say you are one of the GOATs. Man, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And we all appreciate you taking time out weekly to talk to us. Hey, man, thank y'all for showing up week in and week out. And my apologies for those weeks that sometimes I end up not doing it and forget to make an announcement to let y'all know. But yeah, man, definitely, I appreciate y'all. Anybody that knows me and has conversations with me offline will tell you, like, I always speak extremely highly of you folks. And yeah, man, I really appreciate y'all. Also, man, if you see what was it, one of the community, she doesn't always show up here and stuff because obviously people got jobs and all of that. But if you see Griselda, who goes by Lone Wolf, man, definitely send her some love. She's a fan like a lot of y'all and stuff, who's been extremely supportive over the years, and she's on you know, going through some things, man. It's definitely, it's hard for a lot of people right now. So if you see her online, or you know who I'm talking about, just let her know that, you know, we were showing love, and we're definitely trying to lift her up in prayer, man, and send positive vibes her way, you know. But yeah, man, I hope y'all are doing okay, you know, outside of the just showing up here. I hope life is good for you, or as good as it can be at the moment, and things on on Yo, peace, y'all. Sorry. Let's see. Picture froze, no audio. Let me know if y'all can hear me now. Yeah, there was something up with the connection. Also, let me know if it's coming through kind of, if the resolution or whatever is kind of low on things. My apologies, trying to resolve it real quick. All right, cool. Says we're back. Yeah, man, sorry about that. Definitely the connection is tripping a little bit. You're back, we can hear. Okay, cool. Apologies on that. Let me make sure it's coming through the right microphone. Yes, it is. High five for Jesus. Let the church say amen. Amen. Okay. All right, so let me keep going. So just in case we lose connection again. Okay, so look, for those who don't know, I was in Nepal. I was out in Nepal for 10 days doing some cultural diplomacy work. Shout out to Words, Beats, and Life, who made that possible in their collaboration with the Nepal Hip Hop Foundation. Shout out to Depeche, shout out to Janisa, shout out to all of the crew, man. Really, really great folks. Such a great time we had in Nepal, man. I definitely ate way too many momos. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a little bit of time trying to get rid of some of some of the extra weight I picked up in Nepal. You know what I'm saying? Was eating good. But yeah, man. Yo, just an amazing place. So I'm going to show y'all some photos right now. Do me a favor real quick, just to make sure we're good. Give me a thumbs up in the chat. Let me know you're still watching and all of that. And before I get started real quick, it's about that time. Just wanted to give y'all a heads up. If you're enjoying the joint, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And if you ever want to donate or support the channel in any way, support me and what I do, you can do so using any of those links that you can find in the description of this video, but also listed below. So you can support by support via the super chat. You can also support via PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. No pressure to do it. Is not it's not mandatory, but it's always appreciated, as I say. So thank y'all, man, for the continued can't talk. Thank you for the continued support. All right, so get back to these comments. Got a whole lot of thumbs up. That means we good. I said, man, life at 26 weeks, every day is different. Wife is hanging in there. Hey, man, sending prayers y'all way too, man. Hang in there. Congratulations to y'all again. All right. Oh, hey, absolutely early. Let's definitely talk about Shogun at some point, man. I am loving that show. Shogun is definitely dope. I love the fact, too, that for those who don't know, if you haven't seen Shogun on Hulu, highly recommend you check it out. I think it's on FX as well. Yeah, man, really, really great show. The acting is superb. The writing is really, really dope. It's based on this original work called Shogun that came out a very long time ago. And yeah, what's one of the fun facts about it is, like, if you are someone who's fluent in Japanese, familiar with Japanese, they're actually not speaking modern Japanese. They're actually speaking, like, when you think of English and when you think of how it's written in, like, the works of Shakespeare and people like that. So like Old English or something, or whatever they would call it. That's what they're doing with the Japanese on the show too. So it's a bit different than current Japanese. And so yeah, man, it's just a lot of dope stuff in there. Really, really great show, shot amazingly well. And yeah, man, the acting is top notch. I definitely will feel away next year if the Emmys come and it's not acknowledged. It's going to be a problem, because bare minimum, it definitely needs to win for costuming. Like that's a no-brainer. But the acting on it is top notch. So yeah, man, definitely check out Shogun. But let's see. It said, got you when the tax return hit. Fam, I appreciate you. You started watching it, dope. Enjoy. I watched the OG series with my pop a decade or so ago. Word, I never saw the OG series, but I knew it was based on the joint, a book. Shogun's hella fire. I agree. Asian GOT, Game of Thrones. Yeah, Asian Game of Thrones. Yeah, it kind of feels like that, just minus the fantasy stuff, you know. Only Japanese I know is what I picked up from anime. Laugh out loud. Not my best source. Nah, I feel you. It says, did you feel Nepal was a spiritual place? Yeah, definitely, man. One, Well, yeah, let's get into these pictures and I'll talk about it as we are watching. And if any of the homies in Nepal happen to tune in while we're live, man, hey, thank y'all so much. Like, seriously, man. Still on cloud nine, had a great time rocking one of my bracelets I got out there. And yeah, man, it was really, really, really dope. Frank, have a great day, man. All right. Peace, man. Thanks for tuning in. All right. So, yeah, let me adjust this photo. Bong, bong, bong. So this is a music school out there, Sangeet. I forget what the last part of the name is, but it was really, really dope. We did workshops there and rehearsed there as well for a bigger performance we did later. And yeah, man, the people, like, people were super welcoming. It's always important to remember when you travel abroad, especially when you travel for work. Part of people's job is to be nice to you. You know what I mean? So, and the way we were treated was very much like celebrities, where we're being driven around places. We're getting introduced as like artists who the government have worked to bring us in and all of that. So I recognize that, but I would say just in general, man, just the interactions I had with folks, like some of the real conversations we had about the great things about there and some of the challenges, the spiritual side, and then just, just day-to-day living there was really, really special, man. And I highly recommend it. I would say one of the only knocks I had against Nepal is just like the air quality. It was very hazy. Kind of reminded me of when I was in Shanghai, like where it's like, in this photo, you can see the clouds fairly well, but a lot of days, like it was just constant haze over the city. So there's a ton of pollution and, unfortunately, man, cause it's a beautiful place, man. And, it's temples everywhere. And, I got to experience some of that too, but yeah, it's like I always say that anytime I visit somewhere new for the first time, I'm auditioning future homes, right? Like if I like it enough and I start to visit enough, I start considering what it would be like to live there. And as much as I loved my time in Nepal and really loved the people there, man, like it's not necessarily just because of that, just because of my concerns with the air pollution and stuff and the haze that you constantly see. That's really concerning, you know what I mean? And I'm also a person who deals with, asthma and things like that. So I got to be mindful of that a lot of times when I'm visiting places, But yeah, it was super, super dope. Let's get into some more photos. All right. So this is a workshop that I taught at that school. Was working with MCs there, like both people that you see where you can see their faces in there. They're both rappers. And so that was really, really dope being able to check out their stuff. And yeah, man, it was super dope. We also got to work on some production. One beat was just like a general hip hop beat we started on. And then we did a beat where someone was playing a cover of a popular Nepali song. And we sampled like the person playing on YouTube and then flipped a version of the song. So that was kind of cool. Or at least we started to before we ran out of time. Yeah, man. Shout out to Shay, Shauna Lim. This is her teaching her workshop with some amazing dancers and stuff. They were putting together a really dope routine for the final show. And yeah, man, it was just an honor to be working with her and the rest of the Words Beats and Life team. It was super, super dope. All right. Yeah, man. A shout out to Depeche. Shout out to DJ Vital as well, and that's Mozzie, who runs Words Beats and Life. You see the shirts there. This is inside of the facility as well. Hold on, looking forward to see how your experience during trips inspire your next tracks. Word, yeah, man. Definitely. I'm half. We're gonna talk about Bop Alloy a little bit later, but halfway through that next project. A lot of keepers, some stuff where it's like I'm still like got to see how it fleshes out or whatever. But yeah, just working abroad, like traveling, performing, writing and recording and stuff. It's dope. It's really, really dope, and definitely a lot of inspiration. Here's a great question: how was the food in Nepal? Hey, yo, listen, Linda, listen. Hey, man, the food was amazing. I was mentioning momos, which is kind of like their dumpling. You can get it fried, you can get it steamed. I had a ton of veggie momos everywhere I went, and I tried their momos. I will say one of the things that makes it dope is the fact that if you are somebody who's vegetarian or pescatarian, and you have like certain diet restrictions, they have a ton of options. There's not a single place I went to in Nepal that didn't have a vegetarian menu. So that was really, really dope. I would say they had more vegetarian options than Japan. Like they were definitely, they had a ton of options and stuff. So that was really cool. You see a lot of mutton, which is goat. You see a lot of that on the menu. And obviously I don't eat, like the only meat I still eat is fish. So I didn't have that. But and then because of people's faith, because of their religion, a lot of people don't eat beef, right? Because they believe the cow is sacred. So so you oftentimes see buff. And it's funny, keep it a buck with you. I mean, I also wasn't looking for it because I don't eat it. But most of that I saw in like videos like leading up to my trip there. They were always talking about buff. But while I was there, and it's partly because, again, when I'm looking at the menu, I'm looking for things I can eat, not things that I would try if I still ate certain things. So I didn't see a ton of it on the menu at places I went. But the food was, oh my God. Food was, your boy ate good. So, you know what I'm saying? If, you see any of the pictures of me and it looked like I'm a little smaller than usual, you know what I'm saying? Let's just say your man did not miss any meals. I ain't miss a meal, son. You know what I mean? But yeah, shout out to DJ Flag. He was the DJ repping and was holding it down, was doing demonstrations. It was super dope. Yeah, man. Old golden child joke, word. Yeah, Nepal is beautiful, yo. It's really, really dope. All right. This is me with the folks I did a workshop with. A lot of these folks are recording artists and performers as well. Super talented. This is actually from earlier that day, a presentation we did a little bit of history of like hip hop and rap in particular. A brief performance for them. And we all presented and stuff, which was super dope. This is this was a woman-led circle that we did, like a discussion just talking about some of the challenges for women in Nepal, in particular women in hip hop in Nepal. So this was really dope. It was dope to be like a fly on the wall in the space. I got to showcase some of my favorite female artists, some of my favorite women in hip hop, showed them some Little Sims videos, showed them some Sampa the Great, showed them Koma Chi. We were watching some of their stuff, and what was really cool is some of the artists there actually, some of the people, they're not all of them, but like 3 or 4 of the people in the room actually was familiar with Koma Chi because when Next Level came through, Mecha Godzilla, shout out to the homie, he actually put them on to her too. But yeah, man, so many talented folks in this room. Some really, really dope breakers. Like, yo, they're B-boys and B-girls. Super dope, Yeah, man, this was in Biratnagar. This wasn't in Kathmandu, but Biratnagar, which is a bit further south. And we spoke with high school students and stuff. So this was really, really dope. Yeah, man, you saw this selfie. I think I posted it online, but they were super dope. We got to hear some of them sing, got to see some of them dance and stuff, and they had great questions for us. It was really cool, man. But shout out to Mozzie, shout out to DJ Flag, shout out to Shauna Lim. It was super cool. Yeah, man. So dope. Yo, so yeah, I was giving them stickers and stuff after the show, after talking with them. They're super cool. All right, now this is still in Biratnagar. This is at Central Mall, which was it's a big mall in their city. And we actually did a performance there. It was crazy driving up to the mall a couple days before the performance because they had this cart that had audio coming from it. And it was promoting this event. So as we were pulling up, I'm talking to them about something. And then I hear MC, producer, substantial, Shana Lim, B Girl, and blah blah blah. Like all of this stuff that's coming out of the speaker completely caught me off guard, man. Like they really, really went all out to promote the event, and it was a great time. As you can see, the mall was packed out. You see the people wrapped around the thing to see us do our thing. It was super dope. Hey, man, Amazumi, she's a super dope artist. Highly recommend y'all check her out. Amazumi's super talented MC, vocalist. Shout out to her man as well, Soldier. He a dope producer, man. Really cool guy, yo. Like it was really, really cool chopping it up with them. But definitely check out her stuff online. Amazumi is her name. All right, this is me performing that particular day. The B-boys and the B-girls were killing it. Crushing it. Shout out to DJ Flag holding it down too. This was at a promo event the night before the last big show. Man, shout out to all of these folks. I don't want to butcher everyone's name, but the woman on the far left, she's an MC and she's also a hostess out there. She hosted a lot of the events that we performed at and that we did our thing at. Super talented, super good people. Yeah, man, it was cool working with her. And this band, they were one of my favorite acts that I saw do their thing. They're all MCs, and then the one sitting next to me, she actually sings. But they sing, they rap. And the one who's next to me actually plays guitar. So she'll be playing like acoustic guitar while they're spitting verses. And it is, yeah, yo, just killing it. It was super, super dope to meet them. They were on, I think, season 5 of The Voice in Nepal. So, yeah, man, it was dope to get to meet all of these amazing artists. This is the crowd from the last day of performances. Yeah, man, it was packed. It was crazy. I'll tell you what's really crazy is doing shows like this, because I've done shows like this more than a few times in my career, and then like come back and then maybe the next show that you do, it's like 5 people in the crowd. And so, man, learning how to pivot and not being someone who loses a lot of sleep over, oh man, I just did a show and no one showed up. It's like, man, like that, it's part of the game, man. Like, so it's wild though to do something like this abroad and then come home and do something in your city and it's like it's hardly 10 people there, and it's unfortunate, you know. So I just tell people, it's just like, hey man, keep that same energy. If you're not, like, for the folks here who choose not to come out and choose not to support, and I know everybody got their reasons, but if you put more effort into going to tribute shows for artists when they've passed on than you did prior to them passing on, you know what I mean? Like, there's something tragically wrong with that, fam. You know what I mean? So definitely, man, we definitely got to do a better job of appreciating people while they're here. Because, yo, there are a lot of people who don't necessarily have the resilience to get up and keep doing what they're doing after doing a show where next to no one showed up. But like I said, I've seen both sides of it, so I don't lose a lot of sleep over things like that at this point in time. But yeah, man, it's wild going from a crowd like that to no crowd at all. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to the comments real quick. Sorry, I might be saying this wrong, but is there Umagi remix with the traditional instrument? Yeah, so we did. We collaborated with some artists who played traditional instruments out there, but we didn't. These weren't officially recorded. This is just things we did live. So if you weren't there to see it, and there's no video of it, then yeah, unfortunately, there's probably no recordings of this stuff available. But yeah, man, Soul Tiger, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Glad y'all are enjoying the pictures. Here's a few more. Look at the dancers. Yeah, there were sparks and stuff flying while I was performing. You know, that was crazy. It was a great action shot, man, from the show. Yo, the graph artists were killing it too. And that was really dope too, man. It's just dope to see hip hop, you know, see real hip hop, like in different parts of the world, you know what I mean? And so, like, to see the graph artists, to see the mural artists in general, to see the breakers, the whackers, the hip hop dancers, to see the MCs, see vocalists, see people playing their traditional instruments. See DJs killing it live. Man, it was just dope to see like the culture really being represented authentically. Yeah, man, 100%. It was dope. This is from the night show. That's Amazumi performing again. Yeah, love hip hop culture and seeing it worldwide. Yeah, 100%. This brother here was like the biggest artist that rocked while I was there. I think it's Luri is how you say his name, which means if I'm not mistaken, it means soldier. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, so his performance was dope, and he was making a ton of references to like being a soldier while he was performing and stuff. You know, I love what say, like he was just doing little things and stuff, and it was super dope, man. He killed it. All right, boom, boom, boom. Like I said, sub, your records are going to be off the charts once you pass away. I know, man. Like, yo, it makes me listen. It's good to know that, and then it makes me a bit sad. You know what I mean? Because like, you know, the one thing about people's stuff becoming more popular when they pass away, it's like, you know, if everything was put in place the right way, the family gets the benefit from that. The unfortunate part is like the family could have benefited from that while the person was still here. You know what I mean? And created some other experiences together. So like, you know, I think sometimes we don't think about like how this could potentially, how the support, you know, how supporting artists or whatever impact their lives while they're still here versus a lot of the infighting that we see after they pass away, because the stuff becomes widely popular after the fact. A lot of the exploitation that we see of the different artists that worked with them or whatever. I mean, it's stuff that we experience behind the scenes with Nujabes. It's part of the reason why you don't see me doing the tribute shows out there anymore. I'm out in Japan because of unresolved things and stuff. So like, yeah, man, it's because of business that, you know, sometimes wasn't handled properly. And then it's just unfortunate that, like, you know, unfortunately, folks, you know, it's one thing like the artist was already popular while they were alive. It's another thing when they become like virtually legends like after they pass away. Because I gotta check fans sometimes when they talk to me about the Nujabes stuff, and I'm like, hey man, listen, let's be real. There was only one show I did ever in Cali in 2007 where a fan actually came up to me after the show and was like, oh man, how come you didn't do any of the Nujabes tracks or Blessing It? That was only ever posed to me once ever while Nujabes was alive. You know what I mean? So vast majority of the shows that I did outside of Japan, I didn't do most of the Nujabes stuff, because when I would do it, people didn't know it, and they'd be like, oh, this stuff is old, this sounds dated, blah, blah, blah. And so it didn't resonate as much with audiences here at first. It wasn't until he passed away that now it became a thing. It's almost mandatory now that when I rock for a big audience, that most of the crowd are there. Like if they know me, they're there in particular, mostly they hear the Nujabes stuff. And so it's, yeah, man, it's tough seeing that stuff. You know, one of those things I don't lose a ton of sleep over, but I don't pretend like it's not a little bit disappointing. And so, you know, yeah, man, but you know, we'll see. I'm going to have your pick next to Nujabes and J Dilla, man. Well, listen, man, I hope you have it up there before I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's worthy to be, listen, I just say like this, man, like, because on my wall right now, I got some of my favorite folks up on the wall. Now, unfortunately, these are people who are a lot older than me, so they had already passed on by the time I was a grown man. But, you know, these folks stuff, man, like I try to celebrate, like, you know, most of my favorite artists back in the day, they were up on my wall before they passed, you know what I mean? And then when they passed, of course, it goes to another level. But like, man, if, you know, we got to celebrate people while they still here, you know? Definitely got to do that. I display my merch and vinyls now, claiming my OG pass. Yeah, man. I see you, Austin. I appreciate that. All right, so now let's get to one of 2 days off that I had while I was in Nepal. So this is when we were walking from like downtown in the city all the way to the Monkey Temple. All right, so this right here, man, I think I got in like 10 to 12,000 steps this particular day. And part of that was because we had to walk up to the top of the mountain where the Monkey Temple was. And this is the Monkey Temple. So if you look it up online, you can actually see videos of this like shot from above. So you can really understand how high up we were. This will give you some context, right? And you can see a couple things. One, you can see the haze I was talking about over the city, but they call it the Monkey Temple for a couple different reasons. But as you can see, there is no shortage of monkeys there. And you could tell I'm fairly close to them. Like, so they're all through the park. Just imagine going through a park where you would see the way you would see squirrels in a park, and then times that by like 2 or 3. And that's the way you see monkeys in this area when you go up to it. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, this is a shot a little further back from it. And this is the day this is the same day. Like a lot of the people who help make everything happen, man. Shout out to the Nepal Hip Hop Foundation. It was really, really great, man. I felt like I made some lifetime friends, you know what I mean, there. So, definitely got to check in with those folks. Go to these comments real quick. Samurai Champloo was my introduction to News Your Best. Real talk. Word. I'll always support you any way I can, man. Hey, man, listen, I appreciate it, Eric. Thank you, man. You've been a real one. Remember, folks, people always late to pay their respects. That's why it's so important to realize as long as you're doing something great, you are great. The world is often slow to catch up. 100%. 100%. Same here, Awkward. Then my curiosity took over and Nugent Best opened the door for so many amazing artists, Stan included. Man, thank you, fam. Same for me. Samurai Champloo is my favorite anime all time. Likewise, I'm definitely biased because the homie made music on it, but come on, hip hop, anime, done tastefully well. Sign me up, son. You know what I mean? I've heard those monkeys can be pretty mischievous. Yeah, but look. It's one thing about like when people talk about like when they call people crazy or they talk about how like animals do things that are kind of crazy. The one thing I realized when I was there is I'm sure they are mischievous, but then I'm sure they also size people up too. And like, I'm not a small guy. I'm not a super big guy, obviously, but I'm 6 feet and like about 210, 215, something like that. So I'm not a little guy, right? And so I definitely saw the monkeys kind of messing with certain things, doing certain things, but there wasn't no smoke with your boy. I had no problems while I was there. Now, I can't speak for some people who aren't quite my stature, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was pretty cool. And Shauna Lim, she was feeding the monkeys and stuff when we were there. All right, said those are some great photos. Never heard of the Monkey Temple before, and the name makes a lot of sense with that added context. Yeah, definitely got to check it out. If you ever go to Nepal, make sure you got some good walking shoes, and definitely head to the Monkey Temple. You can catch a taxi a bit further up, so that way you don't have to walk the whole way. But we pretty much walked from like downtown Nepal all the way to the mountain that it was at the top of. And yeah, like we walked that whole way. So it was we probably did maybe like about an hour worth of walking to get up there, you know what I mean, from where we were. Man, the monkeys wanted no smoke, son. They ain't want no problems. They want no problems. All right, so anyway, let's get to the next thing. Hold up. Let me get this queued up. So real quick, Bop Alloy update. Was out in Japan for about a week, actually 8 days, working with Marcus D on the upcoming Bop Alloy record. As I mentioned, I believe in the last live, we recorded 6 tracks, so about half of the album already. I still got a ton of beats and stuff to finish writing to, some of which I wrote to while I was out there. My plan is in early May to go back to Japan for about a week. One, because by then Marcus D will officially be a dad. His son is on the way. Go ahead, clap it up for that. So excited to meet my nephew, you know what I'm saying, and get back to work on more music with Marcus, man. So it's gonna be dope. It's definitely gonna be super dope. Yeah, man. One big thing with the project is, man, we have we already secured one feature for the project, and I'll say that it's a pretty big feature in terms of people who love indie hip hop. Like, this dude is, you know, definitely one of the GOATs in indie hip hop. Some hints I'll give you is they're from the West Coast and they've done a song with Marcus D before. Yeah, and that's all I'll give you. But they're already confirmed on the track. They already dropped their verse. My man Sherm the Barber heard it, and this artist is one of their favorite artists, and he was like, man, this might be my favorite Bop Alloy song ever. And it's not even done. He hadn't even heard the hook. He just heard the 2 verses and was like, hey, yo. So yeah, man. So yeah, we cooking, man. We're definitely cooking for y'all, and excited for y'all to hear it. Is that Marcus D? My first time seeing him without glasses. Yep, that's Marcus D. Yeah. But yeah, man, so look out for the 3rd Bop Alloy album. We're hard at work on it. Right now, if you go on streaming platforms, the instrumentals for Another Day in the Life of are officially available. So be sure to stream the hell out of those. You can pick it up on Marcus D's Bandcamp as well. Definitely check that out. Ousted says, hold on. Ironically, I've never seen him with glasses. Yeah. I need Sice, Shing, Marcus D, and Substantial. I'll pay 10,000 cash to hear it once. Listen, man. No, hey, you know what I mean? Don't make promises like that. I mean, it's possible, yo. Like, I'm in contact with Shingo a lot more than I am Sice. It looks like Sice and Sign are back in the studio. It's possible, but you know, it's like I typically collab with those who I'm in contact the most. A lot of the collabs that you saw with me and Sice early on, we were talking a bit more during those days. It's been a bit of time since we caught up, but hey man, I'm definitely open to it if he got time. You know, I ain't gonna make no promises, but anything's possible. All right. Let's see what else we got on the docket. Okay. Upcoming events. So first and foremost, if you didn't know, I'm a part of a collective called the NPC, which is Nerdy People of Color, right? So the Nerdy People of Color collective consists of myself, Mega Ran, Kadesh Flow, O Super, DJ Rockman, Risey K, K Murdoch, IQ, and I'm missing some Shubzilla, and a ton of other O Super, I said O Super. Who else? Creative Mind Frame, oh my, and yeah, just man, it's a really cool collective of people, you know, basically folks who are hip hop heads who also happen to be nerds, which is funny because I find that way more hip hop heads that I know are actual nerds than most people realize. You know what I mean? A lot of us, depending on where we grew up, had to kind of, you know, had to disguise it a certain way. But for the most part, even when I hear certain dudes rap, I'm like, oh yeah, Jizza might be a street dude, but he's a nerd, son. He's definitely a nerd. Excuse me. Yeah, man. So excited to be doing this run of shows with the guys over the summer. It's only East Coast dates as of right now. No West Coast dates lined up. Sorry to those. No Midwest dates either. Apologies for that. So we'll be at BlurredCon in Washington, D.C. from the 12th through the 14th. Then we'll be in Philly. And then we will be in Brooklyn, New York. And then we come back down to Baltimore, and then we're in Richmond. It says Raleigh, North Carolina, but heads up, I will not be at the North Carolina show. The only 2 artists booked for that particular show is Mega Ran and Shadow. So definitely come through. It's going to be dope. But yeah, man, it's going to be a great show. Going to be a great set of shows. So it says, would be nice to hear Trinity again, but I understand how difficult it is for schedules to link up. Indeed. Yeah, man, for sure. Hold on. Missed this one from before. Did you get to talk with Uyama? Of course I did, man. Uyama is the homie, man. Shout out to Uyama Hiroto. Got to spend some time with him a little bit on the last show. He actually surprised me, not just by coming through, but he brought his horn through with him, and he got on stage and actually played Waiting for the Clouds with me and Blessing It. So that was a hell of a way to close out our set in Japan. Yeah, man, shout out to Uyama. Any status updates on the record featuring J Soul? None that I know of, but I will tell you what I did put out to the guy that runs the label, his boy Takumi. I told him, I was like, man, you know, it'd be dope, and I'm sure the fans wouldn't mind this. I was looking at what Marcus D did with Sidestar, where they put all their collabs on one record, and I was like, hey, man, me and Uyama got a lot of collabs together. You know what I'm saying? It's like we got Waiting for the Clouds, but we probably wouldn't be able to license that. But maybe we could redo it. Maybe we could do a new rendition of Waiting for the Clouds, like full live. That would be kind of dope. But yeah, so we take something like Waiting for the Clouds, and then like maybe we put what was it, Beyond the Stage. We get No Turning Back, which was produced by the other guys. We get Lost Touch. Then we get the song that we did with J Soul that hasn't been released yet. And then maybe we do one more. Yo, that's an EP right there, son. Come on, son. That'd be a dope little EP to have on vinyl. So I put that out to him. We'll see what happens. You know what I mean? I said that to both Uyama and the dude who runs the label, my man Takumi. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but yeah. Ousted. Yeah, man, definitely. I mean, yo, if you can go to the one in Raleigh, I highly recommend supporting the homies. I won't be at that one because the venue didn't book us for that particular joint. So after Richmond, I'm coming back to the DMV area. I will tell y'all this. Otakon this year, which is happening in August in DC, it might be worth you making a trip for. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm going to say. We got some big plans. Y'all know it was Nujabes's 50th birthday just passed. Y'all also probably realize that it's been 20 years of Samurai Champloo. All I'm saying is we trying to cook up something. It's not confirmed yet, but just know that once it is, hey, fam, you might want to be there. You know what I mean? We trying to plan something special, you know? So that's all I'm saying. All right? You have to say I can't believe I can't believe how underrated Lost Touch is off of Adultish. I mean, come on, the Shingo 2 and Substantial both on the track. Fam. I know. I try to meet people halfway. I try to put together these collabs and do certain things, and man, it's one of those things that, look, if we did that track and we found the old Nujabes beat and rapped over that, forget about it, fam. That song go viral. We wouldn't even have to pay to promote it. But in order to make Lost Touch like more popular, I got to invest a ton of money in getting it out there more. And still, you still gonna have people in the comments where it's like, yo, you know, people can't not associate us with Nujabes. So you're gonna have some people who love it, and then you're gonna have some people that really aren't gonna be able to move past the fact that, you know, like Nujabes brought them there, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Like he 100% did. But it's just like, yeah, folks aren't really interested. Not all folks. Some people aren't really interested in what we're doing currently. They're more focused on what we did before. And what they don't realize, what a lot of people don't realize, there's going to come a point where you're not going to get anything else, right? There's going to come a point where folks either stop making music, or they pass away and they can't make music. And then you're going to be wishing you had more music. And then these songs that were underappreciated all of a sudden are going to be quote unquote classics. You know what I mean? When no one gave a fuck at the time when they first came out. Or not even that, it just didn't really pop off. Like the funny thing is, the most popular song on Adultish, which I'm cool with. Listen, I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? Most popular song on Adultish is Reed Richards. Reed Richards got more streams than the closest song to Reed Richards has like half the streams of Reed Richards on the album. But yeah, that's the biggest song on the record. And I'm cool with that because the people who love that song, it's like, yo, like you can credit influences all you want and talk about my relationships with different artists I work with. But that song is 100% me, fam. Made the beat. The bars is me. So I'm not even mad at the fact that the most popular song on the record is one of the only songs on the record that's all me. Like, there's nobody playing additional instruments on it. Like, that song's all me. It's all me. And Chuck D, of course, like, you know, sampling him. I'm getting permission to sample him for the intro and stuff and the outro of it. But yeah, man, you know, I definitely make records and try to make sure, always make sure I'm being my authentic self, but also consider some of the things that I see y'all saying and like, you know, like people like, damn, it'd be cool if you did it, blah, blah, blah. And so then you do a thing and then you see that, wow, did that thing and y'all just kind of responded like we ain't do that thing. So like, okay, you know what I mean? And yeah, it's weird, but it is what it is. I still love it. It's one of my favorite joints on there. Eric says, take my money. Thank you, sir. We appreciate the support. Put that on vinyl and it's mine. Yeah, man, I think that joint with Uyama would be really cool. It was everything I wanted it to be. Been saying that, Warpath. Yeah, man, 100%. Hey, I'm back. Hey, welcome back. All right. Too Much Rubik, peace. I think my favorite track from Adultish at this point is You Grown. Yeah, You Grown, I think, might be the second or third most popular song on there, which also means a ton to me, man, because, you know, it's a tribute to my wife and my sister, two women who are extremely important to me being the man that I am and have been my biggest supporters over the years, you know, outside of my mother. So, yeah, man, thank you. I'm glad that song resonates with you, fam. I feel bad saying I've been playing Reed Richards on repeat, but honestly, the bars and flow is great. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. I made it for that reason. You know what I'm saying? My hope is that people would hear it and be like, damn, run that back. So it makes me feel good to know that it resonated with you like that. I love you too, Mrs. Robinson. You know what I'm saying? Clap it up for Mrs. Robinson. Always, you know? But yeah, I think, let me see. See if I covered everything. Hold on one second. Yeah, all right. I think we are all caught up, ladies and gentlemen. Reed Richards is probably in my top 3 of the album. That's what's up, man. Thank you. Says, how do we get Sub a Grammy for production and songs and best album? Great question. So check this out. Let me tell you right now, y'all can't do anything to make that happen unless y'all are actual members of the Recording Academy. Now, CM, you might actually have enough credits, but because of where you live, I don't know if Denver has a chapter. I know that like y'all aren't too far from Arizona. I don't know where the closest chapter near Denver is, or if they have a chapter. But the only way that fans like y'all could basically submit my stuff for nomination is if you were actual members of the Recording Academy. So this is what we call a teachable moment. So let's talk about it real quick, right? In this segment, we'll call like the more you know what I mean? This is when the little joint goes across the screen. But so a lot of people have opinions on how the Grammys actually work, right? And as a member of the Grammys, I can tell you that a lot of the information that you see people posting about and conspiracy theories is not actually how it works, right? So first of all, the only people who get the vote like for the Grammys are people who are a part of the recording industry. And the way that people get into the Recording Academy is, number one, we all have to pay dues. We pay an annual fee. Used to be $100 a year, now it's $150, right? So you pay your fee. Then on top of that, the way it works, we don't get the vote on every category, right? You only get the vote in basically 3 areas. And when I say 3 areas, that doesn't necessarily mean 3 awards. It just means like 3 genres or subgenres, right? So you get to pick what those areas are going to be. And most people typically vote on the areas of their expertise, which means that if you're a hip hop artist, you're more than likely voting for hip hop records And then maybe if you're semi-familiar with R&B as well, maybe you're voting on that. If you know jazz, you're voting on that, right? Spoken word, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the way it works. Here's the thing, though. To even qualify or be eligible to become a member of the Recording Academy, you need a certain amount of credits. Now, I can't remember if it's 12 or 15. I think it's 12. But you need at least 12 credits within a 5-year span, right? So that's roughly, or is it 10 credits? 10 or 12 credits in a 5-year span, right? So, because they're looking for consistency, too. So you might have been a person who made an album a very long time ago, but because you're not a full-time musician, you made that album, and then after a while, you stop making albums, right? The other thing that they also consider, too, is like, yo, you know, are you like public figure status, right? Or not even like super popular, but what I'm saying is, are you known as a musician? Does the community, and I'm not even talking about just regular fans, I'm just talking about the music community in the particular region you are in, do they know you as a musician, right? As a professional musician. And they also consider is like, is this something that you're making a living from? Is most of the living that you're making, or close to half the living that you're making, from music? These are all variables that go into you even qualifying to be a part of the Recording Academy. So what makes it significant that you win a Grammy or even get nominated for a Grammy, it's not because, yo, like, because I see a lot of black folk, a lot of Latino, a lot of non-white folks who make comments like, yo, we're seeking that. Like, when you care about winning a Grammy or being nominated for a Grammy, that you're seeking validation from mostly white folks. That ain't it, fam. Get all the way the fuck out of here with that. That ain't it. It's because these are people who work in my industry. It ain't fans that get to choose. Because I've literally seen award ceremonies that take place in certain regions, like the DMV awards here, and I got nominated in 7 or 8 categories, and then I didn't win because the nominations and the votes that get me in there were based off of the community, right? Like based off of fans. But then after the fans voted me in, then a bunch of people like who were part of the final folks to decide who wins, they ultimately decided that of these 7 or 8 categories I'm nominated in, I didn't win anything, right? And sometimes people make decisions in those moments based on the fact that, yeah, you might have got a ton of votes and more votes than most people in the joint to even get here, but most of these people who voted for you, they ain't from the DMV, so they ain't really looking at your global impact. They looking at your local impact, and they're saying that you're not active around these parts, so we're not going to give you an award over some. So there's a lot of politics that go into all different types of award joints, not just the Grammys, right? Because I've been this ain't the first time this ain't the only like award thing I've ever been a part of. So it's a lot of bullshit, man. I see people saying different things, and I'm like, first of all, your ass ain't even a member, so you wouldn't know. It's like when you see people talking conspiracy theories about different things that are happening in the world with government and blah, blah, blah. Because they heard something from somebody or they read something somewhere, this, that, and the third. But what I always got to remind people is, it's like, fam, if you're not in the position to actually be amongst these conversations, to be a part of this process, to interact with people who are actively a part of this process, yo, you just talking shit, fam. You don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm actually here. I actually vote every year that I've been a member. Like I've voted and participated in this process, so I know what it is versus what it ain't. You know what I mean? And I also know what changes they've made too to ensure that people don't get the vote for just everything. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't gonna see me voting on country records because I don't spend my time with other country artists. I don't listen to that music on a regular basis. So like, I'm not a person who would know enough about that particular category to have a valid opinion on it. So I don't vote on it. You see what I'm saying? But in hip hop, please believe, fam, every year in rap, I vote, right? So yeah, it's important to know that stuff. And it's really one of those things, man. Like, y'all know me. Like, I believe in educated consumers. I believe in education, period. So anytime I'm given the opportunity to talk to people and let people know what my experience is in these spaces, and not even just my experience, what the actual guidelines are and how these processes work. You know what I mean? Like, yo, like, it ain't what you think. So yeah, for those of you who are actual musicians who do spend a lot of time do this and you do it professionally, if you want to be a part of that process, you want to be in a position not only to get yourself nominated, but to nominate somebody like me, that's how you do it. Now the question is, how come Adultish didn't get nominated at all? It's because a good amount of my friends hit me up saying things like, yo, make sure that you submit your record so you can get nominated, this, that, and the third. A lot of that happened at a period of time where like I was getting calls, like when I wasn't necessarily by a computer to do said thing. And then it's just like, yo, it wasn't at the top of my priority list to get the record nominated. So, you know what I mean? And to be honest with you, I've never nominated a record in the past. And it's just, I just don't like the idea of, well, why do I need to nominate my record? If you're hitting me up, and I know for a fact that other artists have submitted my records for nominations in the past, if you're thinking about me enough to be like, damn, Stan should submit his record, why the fuck didn't you submit the record? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's weird. It's weird. So, truth of the matter is, rap in particular is just based on what I see in the early ballots, it's flooded. It's really, really flooded. And so you have to either be someone who's a bit more established to get that attention to your record and hopefully have a lot more people in the industry who are eligible to vote, who actually know the record exists. And y'all know, like I know, that y'all are around other fans who listen to the similar hip hop that y'all listen to, and they don't even know the record exists. So you can understand the uphill battle I have in making sure that all of these voting members actually know that the record's out here. So there's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes, the campaign. There's like private meetings that people do where they host meetings and let people hear samples of the records. So that way the stuff is a bit fresher in people's minds and stuff. Same thing that happens with the Oscars and stuff like that. There's a lot of similarities. And then obviously, you know, like for the folks who want to bring race into it, it's like, yo, you live in a country that's majority white, fam. So yeah, of course, you know what I mean? But that's why it's important that folks are advocating to get more people who are from similar backgrounds or who spend time making independent hip hop for them to get off of this purist bullshit about like, yeah, we don't need the blah, blah, blah. I was like, nah, fam, if we have a problem with how the Grammys recognizes hip hop and we feel like they don't do enough to recognize certain people in the genre and in the culture, then that means that there's not enough of us behind the scenes working to make sure that stuff is there. Because it's not like they stopping us because they want our money. But the thing is, if you got the relationships in the community, just like I built relationships in the community I'm in, because people see me as an educator, people see me performing, they see me touring, they see me doing cultural diplomacy stuff. So once I became a member, eventually they started recommending me for governor. And then I got that. And now there are people who put like whispers in my ear saying, hey, at some point in time, they think I should be going for chapter vice president, chapter president, these different things. But you don't get to that point without doing the work. You feel what I'm saying? So we can't have our cake and eat it too, fam. We, as a community, we gotta get up and do the work. So yeah, man. I know y'all ain't coming here for all that shit, but you brought up the Grammys and that's what happened, son. So yeah. Anyway, Happy Mochi says, my favorite songs of yours tend to be when you experiment with new sounds or when you're giving love to your loved ones. One day I'm gonna get a track from you for a project, manifesting. Yeah, hey. I'm looking forward to that day, sis. Appreciate you. Sub speaks on Grammy process. Clip that and put it out there. Hey, man, look, part of what I've been working on behind the scenes is trying to find someone to work with to edit up these videos that I do. Because, yo, it takes a lot of time. Just setting up for it is like half a day process, because the studio isn't set like this all the time because I got to work in here. So yeah, man. So we talked to the guy I got to actually reply to as well, so we can start chopping up some of these and capture these moments. But yeah, man, I appreciate that. Appreciate the breakdown of the process for Grammys / nominations. You're welcome. Truth, yes. The community and fans worldwide know how much of a legend you are, Stan. Man, thank you, Soul Tiger. I appreciate it. Look, man, I'm eternally grateful to y'all. Y'all are some of the best fans, best people. I've had the pleasure with interacting online. So I don't take y'all for granted at all. and I'm grateful for what y'all do to support me and to support other artists around me. But yeah, man, speaking of other artists around me, some projects to check out. Malcolm Jackson, who plays percussion on a lot of different tracks that I've done. Check him out on Bandcamp. He actually has a new project that's available for pre-order. I got to remember to pre-order my copy, so I'm going to do that today. And if you follow me, you might get a notification for that. But definitely check out Malcolm Jackson. Check out Marcus D. He got plenty of stuff available right now. Check out all the fan man stuff. I think Millen just dropped something new as well. Check that out and all of that. Akil George asked, how was my time in Japan recently? It was really, really dope. I didn't do a ton of sightseeing. I did do a lot of I did spend a lot of time with Yukari and Marcus D. And yo, you know, they're my family there, man. So it was great spending time with them because I hadn't seen them in person since 2019. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, yo, it's 5 years since the last time we kicked it, almost 5 years. So yo, just getting that time with them was really, really, really dope. Outside of just creating new music, got you know, as I mentioned earlier in the show, worked with Kenichiro, got to see Uyama. Also got to see my man Gaku, who used to work for Nujabes and went on to run Jazzy Sport, and also manages certain artists' careers and stuff. Hadn't seen that brother in close to 20 years, something like that. And so when I saw him, man, it was crazy. Like, whole lot of hugging. You know what I'm saying? He was on one. He was a little drunk too, so that was funny, man. But yeah, yo, it was a great time. Really, really great time. It was like a family reunion of sorts. Got to see Komachi as well. Chop it up with her, man. Just my man DJ Rio went back to Club Family. For those of you who've heard the song, Another Night at Club Family. We got to kick it and perform there, so that was really dope too. Someone earlier asked about the Lista projects. I did speak on that a little bit. What is the plan to share all the content online? So apparently they won't, the way it works is we are not, like when you're doing the campaign, they didn't want us to post what we did online. Like, so they didn't, the only way I would, so here's the wild thing. What I didn't know is that in order for me to have copies of the recording, I would have had to purchase the vinyl for myself too. And the way it works is they literally cut the vinyl straight to record. So we record it and then it goes straight to record right there. And then they go to the next one. And so because I didn't pay for copies for us, these vinyls that y'all are going to have, for those of you who ordered it, that's strictly y'all. So now I will say this, for any of you, for those of you who order the joints, if y'all have a great way to transfer the audio recordings, if you have a vinyl joint that records into a system or has a way to transfer the audio directly from vinyl to audio, if y'all link with me behind the scenes, we can figure out a way where we can get those recordings from y'all. Because the only recordings I have are via my phone and the video camera that was running in the spot. So it's not high quality audio. But we did enjoy the experience, so I'm thinking about booking another thing with them and gearing that up, where now that I know really how the process works, I think I'm gonna go about doing it that way. But then the funny thing is, I really don't need them to do that. Where my office is, we have a professional studio. I can technically bring the band in there and we can do a session recording all of this stuff, and then we can just cut that to vinyl and put out the audio. So I think I'm leaning that way because we all live a lot closer to Crescendo than we do Least of All Studio. So yeah, we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? But yeah. Damn. So did you see the Nujabes documentary recently? Gaku was on it, and so was Sphere of Influence, and had some nice things to say about you. That's what's up. I haven't sat down and watched it yet. You know, but yeah, I'll definitely check it out. But those are the homies, man. Wow, man, that's dope. Thanks, fam. Hey, I can record mine when it comes, but it hasn't shipped yet. Yeah, it takes a little minute for them to get the joints out. They told me that. A question that came up earlier, I'm trying to review. I know they asked about Least of All, and then Maraf said, I don't know if it's too early for question, blah, blah, blah. Oh, he asked about the song Blank Canvas. So let's put that back up on the screen. Bong. So yeah. said one of my favorite songs and how I came up with the concept. So every now and then I take lines from songs I've done before and I use them as like the basis of a hook for a new song. And so the Blank Canvas song, it's like a blank canvas with a beautiful frame, no limit to what I can do with the paint. So that line is literally from, matter of fact, let's see if y'all know. Let's test your substantial knowledge. Where outside of the song Blank Canvas, where is the line? It's like a blank canvas with a beautiful frame, no limit to what I can do with the paint. Where is that line from? What album of mine is that from? Y'all can't see it on my wall, but I'm looking directly at it now. All right, I'm gonna give y'all a second in the chat, see if someone can guess. If no one can guess in the next minute, then I will tell you. Any guesses on where that original line came from? Nobody? Going once. Going twice. No one knows. Okay. So the line, blank canvas with a beautiful frame, no limit to what I can do in the paint, is from the song Mr. Consistent from Home Is Where the Art Is. That's the first time I say that line. And so I literally took that line when I heard the beat from Marcus. I took that line and just expounded on it. I was like, all right, let me flush this out into a full chorus and then built on it from there. Now, for those of you who don't know me really well outside of the music, part of what makes me me is like, the whole black of all trades thing. Part of it is like, the fact I'm a visual artist too. So like really just kind of taking that song. Didn't get back in time to answer that. It's all good. Yeah, but part of what I did in that song was I used my experience as a visual artist to make these different comparisons and stuff to what people are doing. And then I also thought about this conversation. I didn't elaborate on it like in detail in the song, but there was a conversation I had with this intern. She used to work for Essential Entertainment when I was when I was doing graphic design and helped doing some of the creative direction for them back when I still lived in New York. And she was like just saying, she was talking about me and the other guys there. She was like, it's so cool that y'all are artists, and I appreciate what y'all do and stuff. And then with you being both a visual artist and a musician, like I could never do that stuff. And I said to her, and it just sounds like some sappy stuff or whatever. It sounds like what people think you're saying to people or whatever when you're trying to look cool to them or you're flirting or whatever. But like I meant every word of it. And what I said is like, yo, you're a woman. It's like you're an artist by nature, fam. And she was like, what you mean? I was like, you create life. If like I don't know what else to tell you, but like that's probably the most important creations that happens, right? So like, yo, you were born an artist, fam. And it doesn't mean that you're less of a woman if you choose not to have kids or you can't have kids. But like the fact that you have the ability to create life and for any type of creator, for me, any type of creator, anyone who creates anything, you're an artist, whether you like it or not. There's an art form to raising children, fam. There's an art form to helping to mold life. You know what I mean? Not just physically, but the mental work that comes with that. And you know what I mean? It's like one of the highest compliments someone ever paid me and my wife. Shout out to DJ Sarasa, because I spoke to her while I was in Nepal. We caught up on WhatsApp. And one of the things she said to me and my wife before we had our first kid was just like, yo, y'all would make awesome parents. And that's like someone telling you like, man, if you ever decided to make music, man, you'd be great at it. Right? Or man, like there's someone see you working on something, man, if you ever decided to be a full-time artist, you'd be great at it. Like I took that statement that she made to us the same way. Like, if anything, y'all are the type of people that should be having kids. I'm like, that's a hell of a thing to say to somebody, fam. So a lot of those thoughts is what went into making Blank Canvas, you know what I mean? And it's just kind of like approaching anything you do, realizing that there's no limit to what you could do with it. It can go as well or as bad as you allow it to. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Yo, 100%, yo. 100%. Appreciate it. But on that note, folk, I'm going to get up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all so much, yo. Rob, you are very welcome, man. Thank you for still tuning in to hear the answer. You know what I mean? I'm glad that I didn't forget your question, and I'm glad you were still here to hear it. So on that note, family, I'm going to get up out of here, man. Y'all have a wonderful day. I got to update this number because we're now at 10,700 subscribers. So we're on our way to 11,000. But yeah, I just realized when I put it up on the screen, I was like, damn, I probably should have looked at that first. But anyway, regardless of all of that, I'm going to go dip, have some lunch with my wife, man, and then go prep for tax time. Yay! So on that note, man, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. Everybody take care. God bless. Once again, man, shout out to anybody who was able to contribute during the live. I know no one did super chat today. As I've said a million times, never mandatory, but it's always appreciated. But also recognize that you can support via Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, or whatever. Never mandatory, always appreciated. But thank y'all so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Y'all be safe, man. Take care of yourselves out there, all right? Peace, peace, peace.